And today I'm just going to have the conversation about when's the breakout going to happen? Because we had the fake out, and I thought, have a proper look at this again and see what you think. So I'm pretty sure I recognize XRPs, and I think I might have found ETHs just looking at it there. Okay, so here is the 15 minutes, yeah. I'm going to go to the 4 hour first, because it is pretty straightforward. Here's the triangle that it's turned out to be. Pop it there. And this is the corner that we're in now. And if you look at the descending channel, if you look at the touches, is when you zoom in, you got a bunch of touches here, just on the channel. Breaks it here, bunch of touches here. Moved a little bit from earlier. So they're just super touch points. Obviously, if it breaks it, it's breaking the channel. That's the simplicity of it. If it breaks the support line, the next support line is down here. If it breaks it, excuse me, on the 4 hour, on the 4 hour, putting the fib on it from here to here, from the bottom to the top. Excuse me. Now this is the 4 hour at 68. So I'll do the same on the hour to look at the breakout was a 15 and the mountain peak. Yeah. But that's what I would do. So, and then the spill here will be down to this line. Now this line is on the hour, and it's also on both these lines are on the hour and the 15 minutes. So if it did spill down, I would be looking at, let's say even down to here, 23, 22. It's quite a drop. It is quite a drop. And then, that's just my guesstimation with regards. I'm just giving it a bit of space, bring that down here. Yeah. One of the things that sort of gives me a little chill about the drop, is if I follow the formation as it drops. There's the dead cat bounce resistance peak. Now the question is this dead cat bounce resistance peak? There's the drop. Dead cat bounce, first spike is first spike, drop again. This here looks like a retrace into mid-range high. Now it could be wrong. This could be mid-range high, and this is the drop, third spike, and we're heading up. But again, this is a retrace into mid-range high and then third spike. So it's a bit challenging to decide, are we all the way down? First spike, second spike, third spike, or first spike, second spike, and third spike down here. I don't know. It could definitely go down another drop. So I think that would be the target if it does that drop. Yeah, if it properly spilled. When we zoom in here, this is where we really want to focus on for the target. It's going to measure out this space. So now if I go into the 1 hour, here's the 1 hour doing the same thing. Make sure it's nice and tight on. Oh, Okay. So, so now here's the 15, the 15. Again, now I have moved this. I've moved this line here. This line for the. I'm gonna go to the 15 in a moment, yeah. But basically, I think this this here is the there you go, is the base of the triangle. So, from a patterns point of view, yeah. And we have this triangle here. So I think it's playing out. I think it's playing out this space. But I think this is the main divergence line. This here. I think this line here, because of where it's coming from in the channel. So when I click into the I'm just checking this here again. When I click into the 15 minute, okay, just checking the touches. When I click into the 15 minute, here's this here. There's that there. I think we're coming very close to finding out whether it's going to drop down or whether it's going to break up. Now I'm going to go to the channels page because I have it on the channels page. Just to, where is it? I'm going to pull in my channels page here. There we go. There we go. So there's my channels page. So now here's this line here. Now this is on log, so it's slightly different, and I measured them out to make sure I had it right. As you can see on log, while it touches the top here, is on the regular chart the line goes through here, but on the log it actually goes through here, the logarithmic, and touches off here and touches off here. So in some ways the log gives a better touch to it, more touches to it, to be honest. So now is when I zoom in like this, here it is here. I think we're moving in this space. So we've had the drop, we have this impulse coming up. I think this impulse is going to come up and touch off this line. And then the question is I think that impulse is going to be complete. It might come up and wick up to here again. It did this, see this, the last time it did this here is it wicked up like this, and then it did this and came right up and touched. There's no, if you measure these, there's no difference between the top of this and the top of this one. So it's quite possible that we get a wick up, to here, yeah, and then that will be due its correction. So now this is on the 4 hour. If I bring it down to the 1 hour, and again here's the green. This space here is, I'm going to assume for the purposes of this that it comes back up to this, yeah. It may go and touch the red line, yeah. It may go further, but if it does, here's the top, here's the bottom, just for this, and then the correction is the 786 back down to green line. So we could get another touch up to here. The correction comes back down to the green line. Now there's one or two things I think may happen. I'm going to use what happened previously as an example. Is it touches off it and we get something like this, and it just goes. You get the drop. or you just get a rejection and down it comes. Or we get the breakout, you know, we get the pop up, we get the back test, and again the question is on the back test, is it going to go up or are we going to have a spill? So that's what I think we need to be watching out for here. And now that I say it, is you see this here? You make this yellow. Is I'm looking at the play of this one. This here is, look, broke it, came back up, back tested, floated along the yellow line, and then look, it spilled. So if we play the same, to there, I actually had this line, there we go. If we play the line to here, is if we get the rejection, let's zoom back in. This might go up here. This might go beyond and do a greater impulse up to the blue line. And we say, okay, look, it's hitting this. it does its correction. But the same thing is, if it breaks out of this, it's going to go up. May hit this, come back down on a back test, and I think this line, if it breaks out and we back test, we got to be really careful. Does it move along this line? And if it breaks this line, there's a strong chance it's going to break down. So we're watching to see that breakout, back test, and this is a measure of again the spill. So now we could just get a spill, just spills, boom, down it goes. It could come up here, touch off this again, turn around and just go. And not give anybody any warning and just go. Is we can have the breakout, is look for a back test anyway, is breakout, back test, and is it going to go up or are we spilling down? Generally that are the options, and you can see them on the, you can see the three basic options. It touches.
Well, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
There is a background noise like a reverb.
Mahela, hang on a sec. Mahela, your mic is working from the camera again. You're all echoey.
Let me see. I just changed it. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Well, you were teaching a yoga class earlier. But we found out what the echo problem was with Mahela. When she does a yoga class, she turns on the mic for the camera. So
it's just that after that it's switched on.
Both of you sound absolutely fine to me.
Very good. You sound.
Maybe it's just like connection.
She's a little bit echoey, but not as much as sometimes.
Yeah, you just sound a bit echoey and distant, you know.
No, I'm on my computer. But you sound like there's a scratch after a couple of words. There's a shh.
Okay.
I don't know if it's called. Anyways,
what are we going to say?
If we sound fine for me, that means it might be just our connection. Maybe it's not how it's recorded.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, go on. What were we going to say?
No, I was just gonna say that there's a sound after 2 or 3 words of yours. There's a hush, and if you're recording it, I was afraid that might get.
Okay. All right. Super duper. Yeah, I'll have a listen back afterwards. Yeah.
Okay.
So no problem. 3 basic options is we get the spill, is we get the breakout, the back test, and the lift. Or the breakout, the back test, and the spill. There are times it just breaks out and there's no back test either. But, you know, it's good to look for the back test. And see if it happens, yeah? So that's what we're looking for in this space. That's what we're looking for in this space. Again, this you see the red channel here. Breakout, might back test onto this, and up it goes. what we want to see as well for confirmation is we want to see this blue line broke. Want to see this blue line getting broken, yeah. I don't think we have to wait for this green line to confirm the breakout, but it would be nice to see it breaking above. But I think the way the position it's in now is that once it breaks this line, I think we're on our way to the breakout. So that's it. That's I could waffle on for more, but that's essentially it. That's what I'm looking at. So I'm in a long at the moment. This fecker, look at this, spiking down. So I've got a take profit of about 70-80% of my trade, which would be 30% of the monies I put in at 41. I think there's probably going to be another retrace, and it might pop up and go here again. If it does a big retrace like it did here, see this retrace here? If it does this retrace, I'll DCA in and I'll look to catch it again, yeah. And then I'm going to do it. Sorry, I put two longs in here, by the way. I put one long in that I'm trading the impulse, and I put a smaller long in anticipation for the breakout, so that if it breaks out, I'm already in a position down here. It's only a small one, but if it breaks out, I'm in a position here to catch it and DCA on the way up. If it comes back and knocks me out, my stop loss is at the entry point. I'm just leaving it there as a sleeper, and if it works out, great. If it works out, is I look to try and catch a short here as well, and again, look to catch it here. Take the majority of the trade on the green line, but again, leave a bit in case it wants to actually do a little retrace here and then break down, or come back up, hit this white line, and then start working its way down like that, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how it behaves around here with regards to this line and its movement along it, yeah. So that's it. We'll be watching that. Any questions? It's fairly straightforward.
Yeah, well, probably something bit of a bizarre question, but when you were talking about a dead cat bounce,
yeah,
I know it's a figure of speech, but what exactly do you mean by that? Which particular part of the chart we're looking at?
There's always I think some people view them as different at times, but different spaces but the dead cat bounce is, you see the lift, and when you reach the peak, that first drop that you get, that's the dead cat bounce. Because and the same when you come down is when, see the drop here, is you get the lift up and then the drop down again. That's the initial. The analogy is about if you drop a cat on the ground, is it will hit the ground and bounce up, so you get a reflective bounce back up. So this is the dead cat bounce. So, and we would call this also the 1-2 on the way down, is the 1-2 on the way up. So it's the 1-2 of the impulse wave. And it's called the dead cat bounce, yeah. So it's also a great place where if you're looking to take profit and you missed it, it will bounce and come back up, and that's where you can take your profit. Equally, if you're doing spot trading, if you miss the peak and you're still in and it bounces, it'll come back up one last time and you catch it there. So equally with a trade, a good place to trade is if it reaches the peak, it drops, it comes back up. This is the 1-2, and then just to push away. So when you catch this and you see it turning, the push away here is the 3. So it's a good time to go in on a short here as well. If you miss this, a good time is to go in on this as well. It's a stronger confirmation because you've got the bounce and the rejection. Some people would wait until you get the bounce and then it comes back and goes below this. And the only problem is you're well in the trade, and it's definitely confirmed for the retrace. But you can then see that you can also get it coming back up here a bit before it heads down, you know. So anyway, you get what a dead cat bounce is now, Lee, yeah?
I do indeed, yes, thank you for that.
All right, super duper.
And then a second question, right?
Yeah.
So you're talking about being too long, so your smaller one, in case we get a bigger pump. And is that on two separate accounts that you've got that on?
It is, yeah. I have two separate Bybit accounts.
Okay.
Bybit 1, Bybit 2, Bybit 3, all the way up to 10. So I have different Bybit. And then what I do is that I open them in different servers. So I've got one open in Chrome, and I have one open in what's the other one? Safari. And if I want to open up more, then I'll open one on Firefox and another one on the Edge. So I can open up multiple Bybit accounts once I'm on different internet providers, servers. I know some people, they'll have a Bybit account and they'll have a Phoenix account, and they do it that way as well. Is you have a Bybit account and you have sub accounts in the same account. I don't do that because you can't open your original account and your sub account at the same time. So it's not good to have one trade on one and one trade on the other, because you have to keep opening and closing them to the accounts to flick between them. So I have my two accounts sitting on my screen here, and I can change them straight away, which is what you want, you know. So that's
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Phoenix, I've looked at it a little, but they work slightly different. So I'm just happy with Bybit, you know, and it also gives you a lot more leverage opportunities. So
I've just got the one, that's all. So right now, I think one's probably enough for me. But I'm thinking, you know, I understand the reasoning behind having the two. So yeah, that's one for the future, I think, for myself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you see, like, sometimes a swing of a trade will be a 15-minute, but it'll be a greater swing on the hour as well. So I want to trade the 15-minute impulses, but then when a bigger swing on the hour comes, well, I want to stay in for the longer one on that. I want to catch that one as well, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm doing this one. Is I could be in a very sweet position where I am. If it's going to pump up, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. So that's XRP. Fairly straightforward. I'm going to have a look at ETH now. Let me switch screens for ETH. There we go. So with ETH, again, I'm gonna zoom out. I zoomed out first to the day with the daily with this one, yeah. And again, you can see all those bigger channels. But the one I'm focused on is the 4 hour. So previously, I would have had this one. Okay, and to be honest, you would call that a divergence line. You'd call that a divergence line for the breakup, to be honest. So that's it. And XRP had the same. Now it's gone sideways since, so it hasn't broken up yet. But that's a clear divergence line, yeah. But now for the breakout, you can see on the daily you can see the touches along here, the touches. It's a very sweet line. So now I just want to make sure although I think think I'll leave it there because when I zoom into the 4 hour, I adjusted it when I went into the 4 hour and I looked for more detail. Yeah, look, I got more. Look at the touches there. Touches, nearly a touch there. Touch, 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 touch. So again, it's a very clear line. Yeah. And again, I'm going to zoom into the hour. There we go. So now you can see the blue line. Yeah. Excuse me. And then the green line. Again, the base of the triangle. Again, you can see the touches here. The touches here really help confirm this bottom line. Yeah. And again, here's the center line. So back to the same thing. Now I'm also going to do the same thing here with the yellow line. Okay, and I think we could actually maybe get that to there. We get that there. There we go. Okay. There we go. I'm going to make this white because I had it white on XRP. Okay. So again, I think we're playing in the same space. Let's have a quick look at what it did here. Again, the touches here and the spill. The little spill here, then the breakout is the back test. Look, it ran along this line and then it spilled. Again, down it came. So here we are, back at this line again. So the question is here is this, here's the impulse, here's the correction, and Ethereum is actually behaving more spiky than XRP today. Like, look, here's this bottom, caught the bottom here, went up, look at this, all the way back down, back up, all the way back down again. Like, this is normally XRP's MO, but ETH is really setting this line here today, but really pumping it. But the same question is here's the base. Will it make it up here again? I don't know. This is really putting up a bit of a battle. But again, the question is coming to this line, how is it going to behave? How is it going to behave? How is it going to behave in this line? So I reckon breaking this green line is breaking this white line, is again up, touch, back, possibly back down here again. You know yourself, is if it breaks through, I think we're going down. Yeah. If I use this this line as a channel, again, I'm just following it by I is 1700. 1700 if we use this yellow line as well. Can't remember what this yellow line is. Okay, long term support line. So if it drops, if it spills, I think it's looking at this as a target. Yeah. XRP is a target if it goes up is about 55 as well. I didn't mention that, about 55. Yeah. We did look at that before. 55 would be between 53 and 57 is mountain peak on the 1 hour. So we're still looking at that as a target. Yeah. We're looking for the same thing. Is if it breaks out of this, is we're looking for the back test, and again, is it going to go up? And again, I think the same thing. Maybe if it floats along this line, this yellow line, or this white line. If it floats along one of these, I think we have to be a little bit patient and see what way it wants to go. And I would suggest is again, even if it floats in this white line, until it breaks this green line, I'd be very cautious about loading up in a trade. You know, if I saw it looking like it was going to spill, I might put a small amount in with a tight stop loss, but I wouldn't put in very much at all until you got a really solid confirmation. so that's it. So I think we're looking at 2000, somewhere around here, somewhere in this line when it breaks it, is breaking the 2000 and above, is looking good. Sorry. Breaking the 1930, the 1900, 1930. I think this is the range, and you just got to be careful about how it behaves when it's going to do it, yeah. And I think these lines are going to play a part in it, yeah. So that's it. This here is a little bit more tricky. With XRP, I would say, look, it's going to come up and it's going to complete this impulse. This impulse here is, I don't know what it's doing. This is madness today with Ethereum doing all this up and down, you know. But essentially, the impulse here would naturally start heading up, like on this one here. Sorry, I'll go from bottom to top. Yeah. So this here come up and hit the 618. Came down. Sorry, this one here hit the 618. So now this one here hit the 618 up. So now the retrace of this one came down and hit the 786. So we saw that target today. After we finished filming today, is the fucking thing turned, and we thought, okay, is this a 4-5, you know, or is this the top and it's coming down? It's like, no, it's keep coming. Okay, this looks like it's going to do retrace. So we went into our longs here, yeah. So now there's the 786. So excuse me. This lift up here, even if it only goes up to the 786, there is if this comes up again, it can float along. There's the 786. There's the white line. They're not too far away from each other. Another lift, possibly another retrace. And again, I think it's getting very close. I think the next day or two, we're going to find out what's going to do. There you go. Maybe even less than a day or two. Anybody, any thoughts?
I have a question about how you're arranging this channel chart, and I guess all your channel charts.
Yeah.
Good time for that, or should I do that another time or another?
Well, give me the question and we'll see how it goes.
Okay, I like the way this chart, I can digest it. What I'm wondering is, you do have some MAs on it. It's primarily channels or EMAs, and
yeah,
the volume is easy to make it disappear, and so are those other things. It seems like your moving average charts have mostly MAs, but this you use the EMA,
yes,
the 20 and the 55, right?
That's right, yeah.
And okay, is there a particular reason you put those with your channel chart here?
Yeah, because they're the cross. You can see the cross on different timelines. You can see the crossovers. Like if you look at the waves up and down, you can see the pattern of the MAs as they cross over, and they're the 20 and the 55 are good. Are a good one for recognizing the crossovers. I could have easily picked two MAs, but I picked these EMAs because they're more immediate. EMAs are more immediate. I only put two on because I don't want my chart full of MA lines. I want the channels to be my channels chart. I want my channels chart to be nice and clear. But I do like to see the MAs. If I flick to the 4 hour, I can see how the 4 hour is behaving here, is you can see that with regards to 4 hour is if this is going to break up, this 20 needs to turn. It needs to take a proper turn. You see it tried to do it there, it got rejected. So it needs to take a proper turn. How's the 3 hour? Okay, well you see the 3 hour, it's a little bit closer. Okay, you see the 2 hour there, it's this little drop, you know, rejection again, a little drop. There's the 1 hour. Again, there's the rejection, a drop, rejection, a drop. You know, you can see that there, the 30 minutes getting closer. There's the 15 minute. So you can see that last impulse, it was the 15, that's probably the 5 minute. If you go to the 5 minute, you'll see the 5 minute probably triggered it. You can see it's floating along like this. Is what we need for this impulse here. This is the correction, and then this impulse here. In some ways, this looks like micro impulse correction. What we need to see is this 15 turn and to give it its proper lift. The only thing is this 15 turning is, you can see the 15 turning will give it a bit of a bump. So we go into the 5. There we go. Is you can see that the price action is hanging off, is moving away. Sorry, the EMA is moving away, so price action is hanging off it here. You can see a scoop. You can see a scoop. You can see this working its way around here. So what we see it like this here. You see it working around. So it looks like it's coming around for another one. There's the 3. There's the 2. 2's getting closer. Oh, there's the 1. There we go. So if the 1's going to do it, maybe the 2 will do it, maybe the 3 will do it. And you sort of get a cascade of them. And you see how far it goes, yeah? So there you go. So there's the 1. The 1 looks like it's going to break it in the next. If it goes up, break it in the next minutes. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't know. So that, Michael, that's why I just have those on, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense to me. I like that. My channels are very ad hoc at this point. I haven't really organized, and I take things on and throw them off, and I don't have much of a connection with long term, but I haven't really understood how to kind of put that all together. And I think now I do, and I can start making some channels charts.
Yeah, Michael, I would recommend that you zoom out to the daily. There's a daily, and go look for consistency. Look for lines that are really consistent. Like you can see the support here, resistance, support, support, comes back into support here, support, it fails, boom, down it goes. There's I cloned this, I put it on here. All of a sudden this line here that has only had one touch very early in its day, here we are years later. Now years later, look how important this line is. There's that line. Here's the play of it. Are we going to break this line? Set a new line. We'd be setting a new line there. Or will it hold and up we go? That's it. This is the bottom. Up we go. Don't know. So that, yeah, that was my point. Is that's a good place to start. Zoom out to the day. Do it on the log so you get loads of the chart in, loads of the price action. And then just look for support and resistance lines, and to be honest, have a bit of fun with it. I just enjoy putting these lines in. It's really nice to put them in, and it just gets you familiar with seeing how important certain touch points are. Like look at this. look at this. Look at this. And this is February 21, you know, June 21, 20 to July 21, and then the 13th of May 22, right back to it again. So these things, the more you look at them, the more you realize that some of these lines are actually very important, very pertinent to what's going on. So same with this line here. You see the touches here, you see the touches here. As you're looking at this and you're going, this line is really important. Is it going to hold? You know, or is it going to spill? You know. So anyway. So that's Michael, that's what I would do, yeah. And then go down into the 4 hour and do the same on the 4 hour. And then go down into the hour, do the same on the hour. And just get used to drawing lines and recognizing the importance of certain lines and how they work. That's how I started it, and I just did it for fun rather than trying to get too right, because it opens your mind to looking for lines that are actually like this line here. It's not an obvious line. It's not an obvious line, but then when you look at price action where it is, and then you realize, hang on, this is coming to a point. This line here looks like this is going to be part of the decision maker. Is how price action behaves at this line is going to tell us whether it's going down or going up. So anyway, so there you go. So let's have a look at Bitcoin and see what Bitcoin is going to say. Yeah. I'm just going to quick look in at my trade. Okay, it's taken another move up. I have a take profit of 41. Yeah, okay. Okay, BTC. And just let me share this here. Okay. There we go. So now, let me pull up my channels chart. And then I'm going to zoom out to the daily first. All these lines for BTC. Now, let me just get rid of these because they block the view. And I'm on log. So I'm going to take this one out for now. And again, you can see this line here. Take this up here. So now, excuse me, I'm going to run a line through here. Okay, just on a daily first. So there's touches here. I'm looking at getting these touches here, touches here, touches here, lots of touches there. That is super. That is super. Now that's on the daily, but now I'm gonna go in and actually just clone this. And I'm always fascinated how when you clone a line that you don't actually have to move it, you don't have to change the angle to find the other side of the channel. This seems a bit tight. Like it's a sweet touch there. Touches here, touches there. It's a sweet touch, but it seems a bit tight. There's nothing being offered here. I suppose you could do that, to be honest. Okay, I can't argue with that. I cannot argue with that. There we go. But now I'm going to go to the 4 hour. And the 4 hour is going to give me going to give me more candles. So now there's that there, okay. Now this one here is where I want to get a little bit tighter. Move this here. Again, it's when you have so many lines to choose from. Is there's a nice touch. There it is moving through. Misses this, but it hits that. Touching through here. It's hitting the bodies more than the wicks. There's more touches there. There's more touches there. Okay, and we'll go for, okay. You see, I could do this here. See, this is the thing, you do this here, a little more space. I think here. And I'm tempted to do this simply because it gives just so many touches here. As long as these stay touching. And if I go into the hour, now by the way, I could be wrong in this, but I really don't think I am. If you look at the logic of it, is, and again there. See, what if I did this? Because Ethereum is a bit clearer this way. Bitcoin is Bitcoin's a bit more like XRP up here. See, this is where see, I'll put that there like that. This is where it gets a little bit. Is it this way or that way? Which one would you do? Anybody got a preference? Haley, what would you do? You're great with your channels. Would you put it here or would you put it there?
Sorry, Roy, I switched off my speakers there because it was very noisy. It was annoying for me, that background noise.
Yeah, no.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, well, I was going to ask, would you put the line here or there? But I don't think it's not making much difference to here, though, is it? I don't think it matters so much because it doesn't change. It doesn't change if you. I'm going to move the line. Look at the connection here. It doesn't really change. It doesn't really change because if I put it here, yeah, it doesn't really change it because I'd still be looking for the line to touch off these points. It's not a huge change. Okay.
Can you show it again? Sorry.
Yeah. I'm just being nuanced about the line here, the white line. Do I run it along here or do I run it along there?
I would run it along the first two peaks there.
Here?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you would. Yeah, because there's more touches.
There's more touches, and then when it's broken, when it loses its value as support, it becomes resistance very nicely.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and you know when I put it there, I still have to adjust it to get these wicks in, so it doesn't seem to change it here. But yeah, it gives it a lot more touches here. But again, same thing is it broke out, it back tested, and then it failed. It broke out here, it back tested, and it failed. So now the question is, here is it going to do the same thing? So now let me zoom in, and I think I'm going to get rid of this line and get rid of this line, and this line here. This is pretty much the triangle. This is pretty much here and there, and Bitcoin seems to be right at the top. Bitcoin seems to be right at the top, touching off it. Look at this, touch. My Asperger's doesn't like them not touching. Okay, so So back to the same thing. Impulse down, impulse up. Impulse down is, I'm going to look at this impulse up here and measure the down, yeah? So let me just zoom in a little bit here. So this impulse here, the correction came down to the 0.5. The correction came down to the 0.5. Where Ethereum and XRP it came down lower. Is that right? Is this today's the 24th? Today is 25th. Yeah, that was yesterday. I'm just wondering with Bitcoin here is could this actually have a drop, come back down and come down here, hitting close to the green line, back down to the 786. Just out of curiosity, just let's measure. Here's an impulse here. Here's its correction. So I'm measuring the couple behind it, yeah, just to see. So here, so here's the impulse up. I'm measuring then from top to bottom. Is it comes down and it actually breaks below it. Okay. Look how neat. Look how neat it moves along this green line. This one came below. It wasn't particularly impulse correction. Nearly back to the same point. Impulse correction. Breaks it. Breaks the bottom. Impulse. Not unless I don't get caught up in this. But I don't like not being able to explain it. Not unless this is the impulse. This is the correction. No, smaller impulse, deeper correction. No, honestly, I don't know what to say about that. Is normally I would expect if there's the impulse, you're going to have the correction within this. Is if it goes beyond this, is generally I would expect it to have a greater move down than just a little bit below. So if I was going to measure this impulse and it's going to break below this, is I'd be looking at maybe an A and a B, and then the C is down here. So if this is the B and this is the A, is then the drop down, and again the 618 will be the one to be centered looking at. That's 27.6, 786, 1786, 27.4, 272, 26.6. And it's still not breaking the previous low. Okay, excuse me. Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure about this. Here is an impulse up, and then the correction of this, as it stands, is only at the 0.5. So part of what I'd be wondering here is this due to come down more? Again, is it due to come back down to the green line here or so? Yeah. But it is moving steadily moving up here as well. So we're still looking at the same thing. Is with this line here. Again, look all these rejections, rejection. Again, is it going to continue down? Again, we're looking at breaking 28,831. And here, bring this down slightly a little bit. Down to here is 30,600. Here's the center line coming through it all. It is there. Let's just zoom out for a sec. What's that? What's this white line here? I'm trying to remember what this white line is. Okay, this white line seems to be a long-term support. I'm not sure why it's exactly there though. Okay, I think I was trying to be balanced with the wicks. The wicks here. And also it's 30,400. Okay. Okay, you can see that as part of this resistance line. Probably this would be more effective because it really matches in with the green line. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it cuts a bit closer to the bodies here. Okay. I'll take it out because we have the green line in. Yeah. Just to keep it a little tidier. Okay. So it's back to the same thing. This line looks pretty set. And the question is, like, look at this. This is so neat. This is so easily tradable compared to XRP. If this follows the same pattern, it looks like it wants to head up to here. And there's a green candle there. Question is if it does come up to here, are we looking at a back test and then up we go, or are we looking at rejection and down we go? Let's put the yellow line and I'm going to put it here. I'm not sure whether I should put it here or put it there. It really does work here, just with the angle of the price action here. So many touches, it's hard to ignore. So there we go. I think the drop is easy to read. 28.8. If it starts moving clearly below this, we're heading down. The break up again is 30,600, and we just got to be careful about how this behaves. This line here, I think we need to be a little bit cautious about as well. This is a long-term support line. So you can see the support here. You see the resistance here. The support. This is all the way back to 2018. And when you look at it on Bitstamp, this would have other touch points all the way back to the beginning. Right back to 2010 or 11, yeah. So a really important line. So what's that got to do with right now? With regards to breakup, if it's going to break up, is you want to see it break this green line. Is to be really sure. I think you also want to see it break this yellow line. I think this will be a really good target as well. Yeah. So if you're in on your long here, is taking some profit, but it might be good to leave it in and see if it wants to go up. If it's breaking this, is looking great. If it's breaking 31.3 thereabouts, and breaking this, I definitely think we're heading for a much better position. Yeah. I would probably wait to DCA in when it gets past this line here, simply because of its importance. And then this is the 1 hour arc. So where is it going? You put the fib from the bottom to the top, and we're looking at a range of 618 at 33,500 to the 786 is 36.2. So I think the range here for for this breakout will be between 33.5 and 36.3. I think somewhere around there, yeah. I think the breakdown here is, to be honest, I think the breakdown here, if it's going to break down, is I think a double bottom without breaking this, I think would be this yellow line. I think it's fairly straightforward, yeah. I think down here would be sensible. Very close, but not breaking it. 25.8 thereabouts. If we were having a proper capitulation, is you've got this blue line here, 23.7. What I would suggest, we've also got this white line down here at 21.8. And just a quick zoom out just to remind ourselves what these lines are. You can see this blue channel here, and again you can see the touches here and the touch here. So this is a very relevant blue line, and then equally this is the more local white line, yeah. That one there. So there we go. The blue line has more touches on it, but you can easily get a wick to it, and then it retraces back to the body of the candle, coming back to the blue line. Yeah. There you go. Has anybody any questions? Anybody any thoughts? I think we're very close to. Go on.
I have another question about charts, and it might be better again for another time, but it's up to you.
What's your question?
For the first time last week or sometime, I started to use a curve as a divergence. It just felt right, but I don't really know that much. I think I've seen you using some curves sometime. What are your thoughts about, it's that curve, it's got like 2 parts you move or 3, whatever, and you can.
Yeah, I generally use them on on my larger charts. I think it's on this one. I'm just looking for my chart that I have it on now. That's actually interesting there. See, there's the monthly, the 20 and the 35. Bitcoin is very close to the monthly here. It dropped to the 24.6. I wonder if we put the weekly on. What will the weekly give us? Look, there's the weekly. Put the daily on. Look how close it is to the daily. So, you see, we were talking about the fib. The fib here, wasn't it? From the bottom here, and then wasn't the top when we were talking about the 1 hour. Yeah, we were talking about this is the 1 hour arc. So again, if this breaks up, is breaking through the 20, breaking up and maybe getting rejected at the 50, the 55, might even wick a little bit to the 786, but you can see the target will be up around here, 35.5, for mountain peak on the 1 hour, yeah. But just come back to, I'm just looking for my chart where I have that, Michael.
Some curves.
Yeah, I do have one.
I thought I'd seen them on your charts.
But I know I have them in XR. I have them in XR.
The place I used was like something like you were just on, where the straight line wasn't going to touch the points, but you looked at it and you could see this natural curve that,
Yeah.
And they're in a lot of places, and it seemed to be worth marking that. And then it seemed to work out good, and it did give a lot of useful information. But again, I'm just anything that somebody who's more experienced can help me with that.
Will you post it? I generally put them on the daily ones and on the with the log, and I'm looking at mapping out. I'll pull in my XRP one that I have it on just to quickly show you. I'm looking at mapping out the long-term projection on it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just flicking into all my pages now just to try and find it. Here we go. This is it, isn't it? Yeah, here it is here. So.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. They're brilliant. But what I do is
information you wouldn't see without those, you know.
Yeah, like here's now this is the 2013 bull market top here. So you're measuring the curve and you're catching this, but look how it marks. Look how it marks this out. So now here's the top of the 2017, and again you get the marks out, you know, and you mark it along. So again, this is super accurate here. So this here, just by the very nature, if you follow the same process, look how steep this one is. But you can see the longer curve on this one is on here. It catches the breakout and up it comes. Here's the bottom. Here's the bottom. Like if you look at this, here's the bottom, and then it catches the breakout. So here's the bottom, and this looks like it's actually just catching the breakout now. As in, this is the bottom this is the bottom, and it does all this, and there's a final drop before it goes up, the proper pump. So now here's the bottom here. This is where the bottom of the market is. Look, it curves again, and you get that dump before the real pump. So that, to me, this tells me that the real pump hasn't even begun yet. Just if you follow these curves. So yeah, I think they're fantastic. But I only use them on these big charts over long periods of time, Michael. Show me your chart. Don't show me now. Post your chart. Give me a look at it. Give me a look at what you're doing, so I give you a bit of feedback. It'd be interesting if you're doing it on a smaller time frame, because that would open up the opportunity for me to have a look at it, you know. So
it was on a smaller time frame, and I think I took the drawing off, but I pretty much remember more or less what it was.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so I can just do some other ones. I can just do them as I feel.
Yeah. Well, post.
The tops or the bottoms are related.
Yeah.
But they're not related through a straight line. They're related through a curve.
Yeah. Post and give me a look at them. Post and give me a look at them. Yeah.
I will. Thank you.
Yeah. You're very welcome.
And chart analysis questions, technical analysis questions.
Yeah. Anywhere. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Just make sure I know, because I don't check that page very often. So just make sure when you do it, let me know you did it, so I can go have a look. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So you can see now that here we are. Here we're looking. Are we going now for another drop, or are we going to break up? And I think once we get going, you can see this line here. I think this line will become a nice solid support line for just guiding it up. But then when it breaks this line here, see this line here? I think this is when we really start to kick off. When we start breaking this pink line here, if it's more recent, it'll be 60, 69. If it stretches out here, it'll go on for longer, but the price will come down. This is 60. So if this drags on and it does a wave and a wave and a down, but once it breaks this, I think this is where we have to kick off. The whistle gets blown here, by the way, and then I think we're going to start to take. Much deeper. Same with this. We've got to break this. Looks at the bottom. We've got to go through this like this here. We've got to go through this, and once this gets kicked off, that's when we get the pumps. Look at this all the way back down here, and then off we go. So I think this line is going to be the same for us. Once this goes, then we're going to really have the volume come in proper. Yeah. So anyway, we're getting off the charts a little bit. So with Bitcoin, Bitcoin seems to be in really testing this line here. So let's see. We need to be a little bit cautious about this line, because it's look how clean and tidy it. Look how tradable all this is. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm starting to think Bitcoin would be really nice to trade. It's so much easier. So less complicated. But the fact is, it goes top to bottom. So here is sort of suggesting that it'll go to the top again. So again, is breakout, retrace, break up, or breakout, retrace, break down, or just get rejected. And this is hours. So this could be hours away from just deciding, affect this, I'm going down. So yeah. So there you go. There you go. I think we need to be on our toes for the next day or two to make sure we're ready for it, you know. So any more thoughts or questions? No?
Right, this morning we talked about on BTC.
Yeah.
I think on the 15-minute, the Elliott wave up, might be on the 1 hour, I can't remember what we talked about now.
Yeah.
But I think we thought that we were at 0.4, waiting for it to go back up to the top of the channel.
And that's right. And it started to come. Let me see where we were today. 25th. It was 24th. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 3 hours behind. We were talking at 10:30, so we got 7:30. Yeah, I think, and Bitcoin was around. It was around. I think it was around here. I think it was around here, and we were talking about potentially this has gone down to do a 3, 4, and a 5.
Yeah.
And then it started to spill more than that. But again, with Bitcoin, Bitcoin looks different than the others. This could be 1, 2, 3, 4. It still could be a 5 up here. For Bitcoin, I can see that. I wouldn't say the same for Ethereum and XRP, but for Bitcoin, you can see that. But when it started to spill more with XRP and Ethereum, it was clear that their impulses were complete, and they were going for a deeper correction. So we just stuck the fibs on it, and when it hit, with our targets in for the 786, it hits 786, we're going in our longs, and that was it. They hit, and then off they went.
And can 4 be lower than 1? Is that right?
Say again, please.
Can 4 be lower than 1? When it retraces? Can
4 be lower than 1? I believe it can. I don't think 4 can be below 2. Now I know Mihaela likes to be very tight and say it's 1. Mihaela? Is there? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's have a look at some of the others just out of curiosity. Yeah. Here's 1 or 0, 1, 2. Is there any of them that tested? Just looking for one that might test it. No, none there. Lee, let me double check, because I'm 1, 2 is, there's times when I've seen 4 break 1 and still go up. is for sure 4 can't break 2. So 1, 2. If 4 is coming below 2 for me, that's a cancel. That's an invalidation for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is let me double check that, because I think Mihaela might say no, 1 is it, but sometimes I see it break it and still goes up. So let me give you an answer to that proper. I'll do a Google search. I'll do a Google search just to see what it says. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do the same. I'll do the same.
Yeah, just to see, I can't think.
Cheers, Roy.
Off the top of my head. Oh, you're very welcome. So yeah, so that's it. Where's this? Really, you're asking that question about where's this going, Lee, aren't you? Because if it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and it can break the 1, is up it goes. The up is still there.
Yeah, just because I've got my my limit order in it, I've brought it down slightly. It's at 30,300 now, just to get onto that short. This morning I had it at 30,400, but I did notice that sort of descending, sort of like triangular hypotenuse, if that's what you call it. Back to my school days. So yeah, I was just thinking, is it actually going to reach 30,400? I don't know. So rather than miss it, I just thought I'd reduce it slightly.
Lee, I'm sorry, Lee. I'm half listening to you. My apologies. Because I'm asking now, can wave 4 overlap wave 1? Sorry, Lee.
That's all right.
I'm Googling it now. Give me one sec, see what it says. Yeah. Just want to see if it gives me a quick answer.
Roy,
Yes.
4 can break the 1 if it's a diagonal Elliott wave. So if it's I'll post a picture. I'll post a picture of a diagonal Elliott wave. So it's not an Elliott wave that goes, let's say, in an orderly, straight way, step by step up. It's an Elliott wave that goes more sideways and up. I'll put it up in our tools folder so that you can see it.
Okay. All right. Super.
And this one in Bitcoin looks like it's that kind of Elliott wave.
A diagonal.
Yes, a
Yeah.
diagonal Elliott. Yeah, in an uptrend going up.
Yeah, for sure. It is. Okay. All right. There you go, Lee. There you go.
Cheers, thank you.
Yeah. So Lee, I'm sorry for not listening to you. Would you mind repeating what you're asking now based on that information we have? Yeah.
No worries. Yeah, so this morning I put in a limit order for a short at 30,400.
30,000.
We had like a little bit of a discussion about it this morning.
Yes.
And then, given the, the sort of descending channel and that it's coming to an apex,
Yes.
I've reduced that slightly down to 30,300 just so I don't miss the opportunity.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, is it actually still going to meet that, or is it going to reduce it even further?
Yes. I've got it marked in there now. Yeah, honestly, well, let's look at it. If it's doing an M1, 2, 3, 4, and it's going to go 5, it'll hit your target. It'll even if it goes up to 3, 6 or so, it'll still do a retrace. Okay, and you're catching it. If it's already topped out, which it doesn't look like it does, and I'm going to do like just a visual on the go down to the 5 minutes. And see what I can see here. So there is the potentially 1, 2, the push away. there's a W. Here's the scoops, 3, 4, 5. In this here, I can see a full wave, but again, I'm gonna be devil's advocate here. Here's a W. Well, here's the W. Yeah, I was gonna say I see scoops there. Yeah, no, the W. 1, 2, 3 scoops. So 3, 4, then 5. Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I can give you something also just with regards to the pattern. Look how neat and tidy this is. Look how neat and tidy this is. Every time it touches the bottom, goes to the top, drops here, back to the top, down to the bottom, top, bottom. Takes its time to get up here, but it eventually does. Down to the bottom, back up, is down. It seems like it's working its way up, Lee. The only thing I would be a little cautious about is this line here. It's getting broken. It is close to breakout time. Is how much will it retrace? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Lee. I'm waiting for my own to top out here to take profit. I plan to go in on a short. I plan to go in with a really small amount. When I see it moving away, I'm going to put my stop loss very close or at entry point, or at the top of the wick, and take very little risks with the amount and also with my stop loss in it. And if it heads back down and it wants to do the downward turn, great. If it doesn't, I'm keeping it very tight. So I would recommend you do the same, Lee. I would recommend you do the same. I'd be very cautious with the short on this one.
Yeah, I've kept the stock pretty close with the other ones. I've been able to trade this quite nicely. I managed to get probably 3 trades out of it. I think I were a bit too aggressive with a couple of the others and didn't take the profit what I should have done on one of them. So yeah, win it. So I do feel like I need to be cautious because you just can't tell which way it's going to go. The stocks have been pretty close, but so far I've been okay with it. But I'm pretty happy to take sort of a $15 loss. If it does go the opposite way.
There you go. There you go. I think that's the way this needs to be played now, Lee. And if you get the breakdown, look your dollar cost in when you got nice solid confirmation, and it gives you a bit of space to play with. That's what I'm doing. And I've got a little one here. If it goes up, great. If it turns down, that's okay. I won't lose anything. So I think that's the way to play it, especially here because it's just the behavior changes. See all this nice and neat and tidy, and then the behavior here is going to start to change a little bit and start to move out of this space. So until it shows itself, that's the plan. All right, so super duper. So I think we all have a pretty good idea where we are with our coins, and also what to look out for. If you have your own charts mapped out like this, great. If you want me to post the URLs to these and share them, if you wanna do that, you can have them as well. Just let me know and I'll post them. So okay. Other than that, guys, have a great day, a great night. And yeah, I think something we're very close to something happening. So keep your eyes peeled. All right. Have a good one.